Idi Amin Dada, commonly known as Idi Amin, was born around 1925 in Koboko, a town in northwestern Uganda, then part of the British Protectorate of Uganda. The exact date of his birth remains uncertain, with some sources suggesting it could be as early as 1923. Amin hailed from the Kakwa ethnic group, a small Nilotic community residing in the region near the borders of present-day Uganda, South Sudan, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Family and ethnic background. Amin's father, Andreas Neabire, was initially a member of the Lugbara ethnic group, another Nilotic community. Andreas converted from Catholicism to Islam and took the name Amin Dada, a reflection of the religious and cultural influences in the region. Amin's mother, Asa Ate, was of Kakwa descent and worked as a traditional healer, a role that involved herbal medicine and spiritual practices. The Kakwa people, traditionally pastoralists, were known for their resilience and strong community bonds, characteristics that would later be reflected in Amin's persona. Early education and influences. Idi Amin's early education was minimal, reflecting the limited educational opportunities available to many in colonial Uganda, particularly in remote areas. He attended an Islamic school in Bombo, where he received basic religious instruction and rudimentary education. However, Amin dropped out before completing his primary education. This lack of formal education meant that Amin was largely illiterate for most of his life, although he reportedly learned to speak Kiswahili and a bit of English during his time in the military. Amin's upbringing was also influenced by the colonial context of Uganda. The British colonial administration often favored certain ethnic groups and regions for development and education, while others like the Kakwa were marginalized. This created a sense of exclusion and resentment among those left out, including Amin. Early work and joining the military. After dropping out of school, Amin undertook various menial jobs to support himself. He worked as a cook, a chauffeur, and a laborer. His imposing physical stature and strength, however, made him stand out. And in 1946, at around the age of 21, he enlisted in the King's African Rifles, CAR, a regiment of the British colonial army. The CAR recruited heavily from East Africa and played a significant role in maintaining British colonial rule in the region. Amin's decision to join the military was a turning point. The army offered not only a steady income, but also a pathway to respect and authority that would have been otherwise inaccessible to someone of his background and limited education. Cultural and social context. Amin's formative years were deeply influenced by the cultural and social environment of his community. The Kakwa people, while small in number, had a strong warrior tradition, which prized physical strength and martial prowess. These attributes were highly regarded and likely contributed to Amin's confidence and ambition. The traditional healing practices of his mother may have also instilled in him a sense of mysticism and an understanding of the power dynamics within his community. Growing up in a border region, Amin was exposed to various cultures and languages, which may have contributed to his later ability to navigate and manipulate diverse social and political landscapes. His early experiences with the colonial system and the social hierarchies it enforced would also shape his later attitudes towards authority and power, personality, and early traits. Amin's early life was marked by a mix of hardship and opportunity. His physicality, combined with a keen sense of survival and adaptability, were traits that would define his military and political career. Despite his limited formal education, Amin possessed a natural intelligence and charisma that enabled him to rise through the ranks of the military and eventually seize control of the country. In summary, Idi Amin's early life and background were characterized by his upbringing in a marginalized ethnic community, limited educational opportunities, and early exposure to the rigid hierarchies of colonial society. These experiences shaped his worldview and laid the foundation for his rise to power, marked by a reliance on physical strength, cunning, and an ability to command loyalty through both fear and charisma.